see. Live chat. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this, but this is my traveling toolbox, if you will. So basically everything that I've had in here that I've used, all my tools that I've used over the years, everything that's crucial that I need for track adjusting is now in these boxes. This right here is my car wash stuff. Then I have my electrical box, wrenches. My suit goes in here. My racing suit goes in there. And this is the pass box. So it has spark plugs, checker, tire marking tools, specialty sockets, some of the cards that I have, more specialty sockets, some stickers that I sometimes give to kids, that come up to the car, tire pressure gauge, Sharpies like this one. But this box I use pass to pass. It has just specialty tools that I may need from one round to the next. And the rest of the boxes, including that one that's got all the heavy duty stuff, that they all stack together like this, and I bring them into the trailer, easy peasy, take them out as I need them, etc. But I'm working on the car today, just minor tweaks. What's up, John? How are you, brother? Just hanging out in the garage, doing a little bit of work, readjusting some things. Show you guys here in a second. I just need to unplug this. I'll mark this real quick. T. Okay, but so if you guys saw in the last video, I just about gave up with the air shifter as far as the computer controlling it. And I have some thoughts about that, reviewing the video and kind of playing it in slow motion. Since I had the camera pointed this way, I could see the RPM on the gauge and the way the shifter was functioning. I have some thoughts on that still kind of bother me. What's up, Mark? I'm feeling like there may be an RPM sync issue, and that's why the shifter is meant to go into second, right? So when the car's moving, it goes into second like this. And it's constantly having ground applied until the car sees 100 RPM drop. So let's say I command 7,000 RPM. It's in first gear. It revs up, hits 7,000, and it hits it back, but it won't release it until it sees 6,900. So first gear goes up to 7,000 hits, 6,900 as the RPMs drop during the shift, and then it releases. So I'm thinking there might be a sync issue there. Maybe the RPM's going too fast for the computer, or I don't exactly know. But I noticed it here in the last video, and I'll have to show you in the next video what I mean. But so I'm still battling that. So no, I haven't tried the timer yet, Slower, and I'd like to pick your brain on that. Because what I noticed, and I'm gonna try it this next track outing. I'm actually making the switch right now. I'm gonna try to control the air shifter on air, but I'm not gonna let the PCM do it. I'm gonna do it via a switch. So when I press, when I'm racing, and I press, the switch here, it should allow this thing to shift. Because I used to have that before, but obviously the PCM controlling it is better. But I used to have it that way before, and the shifts were crisper because it was just a quick 12 volts to the solenoid, and it engages and releases just like that. Let's see. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'd have to pick your brain. I missed your message there, but I'm gonna have to pick your brain and find out how you have it. A lot of people have it different ways. But I'm gonna try that next to see. What's up, guys? Shout out Speed Addicts Garage. Speed Addicts Garage. But yeah, right now what I'm doing is I'm gonna make the change on that. So obviously I have 4 holes to deal with here. This is gonna be my trans brake. I got a new trans brake button. I've used this, I don't know how to pronounce the name of the company, but I think it's Biondo. But I've used these trans brake buttons before. They're like super fine adjustment trans brake buttons. So I'm gonna use this as my trans brake button. Then I'm gonna switch over this regular mushroom trans brake button over here and use this as my shift bump button. And I'll move my trans brake button down here. So I'll have trans brake, I'll have the shifter, bump, and then this is the scramble. So that way everything, all 4 holes are being utilized. I can shift the shifter still on air, but on a button. I think that's gonna, I'm telling you, the next video when I show that, I bet you the shifter acts normal. I'm thinking there's a sync issue with the RPM. I don't know enough about that to try the timer. Like I said, I'm gonna have to pick my buddy's brain on that, slower than you. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. Just kind of hanging out in the garage. I gotta take the steering wheel off here real quick and refabricate those buttons, rewire it, and then redo the inputs and outputs in the Holly and get it to function. Because we're gonna, this weekend, not doing anything. The following weekend, the 22nd, if you guys haven't seen it yet, we're going to that event in Houston. If you're in Houston, you need to come out to this event. OMG One More Gear's putting on a Rise and Race event at Baytown. It's going to be well prepped. I'm going to have, Solomon's going to go, Raymond's going to go. There's like, I think there's like 10 F-bodies signed up, ready to race at that event. So we're going to do some grudge racing. I'm going to have the car on the air shifter, but on a button, like I said. And we're going to try that and see how that works out for us. I'm telling you, I really feel like it's going to work because I've taken the shifter out and bench tested it that way, and it acts fine that way. It's just when it's trying to read the RPM from the computer is when it starts acting up. So that's the plan this weekend. Next weekend, I should say, the 22nd, we're going to go race. I'm going to have the air shifter on that button, and I'm telling you, I bet that it's going to work. So this is the new trans brake button, like I said. I had the same brand, the same style trans brake button before. You can see right there how fine of an adjustment is. You can make it like real fine to where that's all it takes to release it, right? It comes in handy if you're a little slower at the tree, you know. This can improve your reaction time quite a bit. But I had one of these before, and it always worked really good for me, but it was the bigger version. This is like the smaller button version, and it fits that steering wheel, so it's going to work out too. I do have to make a little bit of an adjustment on the steering wheel because the shank on this thing is so short, and the back of the steering wheel has like a curve to it, so it doesn't allow me to screw in this bracket, this piece that I need to have. Yeah, man, I'm definitely going to have to shoot you a message. Yeah, I'm interested to see exactly what you did with it. Because I want to make it work. You know, a lot of people are messaging and leaving comments and saying, just manually shift it. Yeah, I could do that. I could manually shift it. But why? This can work. This has proven to work for a lot of people. I'm not the first one trying this. It's better to use an air shifter than manually shift it. It's more precise if I can get it to work. But that's the issue that we're on. Right? That's what I'm saying. So the trans brake button, it fits in the hole there. It's the right size, but you can see the edge of it right here. I need to grind a lot of this off on the back side so that I can fit the bracket on there. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. I'm gonna get this moved to the trans brake button, that one moved for the shifter, and continue on with that, because we're gonna I'm not giving up on this shifter yet. I'm giving up on the RPM working it, but there's other ways, like slower than you said. There are other ways that people are using these things. I suspect there's some sort of RPM sync issue going on with the PCM and it reading the RPM signal. We've seen it in the logs before where it's not as smooth and clean. So that could be the problem with this, because the linkage and everything, the way it's performing, when it's not under load, when it's not wide open throttle, it works 100%. When we go open throttle is when, for some reason, it acts up. I don't know if this computer is not syncing correctly or it's not reading the RPM correctly or what, but that's when we're having the problem. So I'm not giving up on it. I still want to make it work. This off season, I am going to try to reduce that amount of time, because I'm going to try to go from a 3-speed turbo 400 to a 2-speed turbo 400. So I will have to change this shifter out for a 2-speed one, but I'm going to buy the exact same shifter because I do love the shifter. When it does work, it works. So it always misses the first shift slower, and it's super late to react. So what it does, I'll have to show you a video. So we're in first. What it does is it goes to second, and it hangs up just like this. Just like this. You see the lever hasn't released. It hangs up for a second. It hits the limiter, and then it releases, and it goes into second. And then from there, second to third always hits on time. That one I never have any issue with. That one always hits on time. It's just first to second every time. And yeah, I tried bottle PSI. We raised the bottle PSI. We've done, yeah, I'm definitely not giving up. We've done new regulator. We've changed the solenoid. We've readjusted the cable a million times. We changed this solenoid as well. We've done just about all that. I took the, I took the little filter piece off the solenoid to make sure that it was escaping the air all the way through. All of that has been done. I've lowered the RPM. And we set it at 6,800 this last go around. And you can see in the video that it still did it. Deactivation, yes. Deactivation has always been the problem. It's like I've tried to reduce the time of the RPM deactivation, and it just doesn't seem to help. I don't know why. You know, the last time I talked to M&M, they suggested that I lower the RPM, that I wasn't giving the shifter enough time to do it, and it didn't work. I even tried to switch it from, originally I had the solenoid grounded, and I was getting 12 volts out of the PCM to hit the shift, to hit the solenoid, and I changed it to PWM ground, so it was more like a consistent ground, a better ground, I guess. So it's always getting 12 volts, and it's getting PWM ground to fire the solenoid, just in case for whatever reason there was a delay in the 12 volts going. I don't know if that would be a thing, but I changed that as well to try to get that to work, and it's still acting the same way. So obviously it's frustrating me. You can see it in the videos. You can hear it here now. It's a frustrating deal to lose races twice now due to this. The car, new mile per hour, new 60-foot, it's performing like the motor, the engine, the turbos. It's performing as it should. I just can't get past making the gear switches, but we're gonna get there. We'll continue to work on it. Good thing for people like Slow, that's helping, you know, offering help. I do appreciate that. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna talk to him and see what advice he has, and then we'll revisit the shifter. I know in the last video I kind of felt like I was giving up on it, but there's still some things that we can do. I still want to make this work. Even when we go 2-speed turbo 400, I'm going to make this work. What's up, Lopez? Pontiac Life, that's for sure. The car's sitting pretty here. Yeah. So, yeah, possibly. So, I'm going to talk with Slower Than You here. If you haven't checked his channel, by the way, go check his channel. He's got a pretty fast truck. I've seen that truck in person, and it does take off pretty fast. So it will turn off regardless of RPM. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about that here pretty soon, Slower Than You, I promise. thank you for the advice again. But we're going to touch base on that here real quick. I'm going to end this video here. By the way, before I let you guys go, if you haven't already, the Bullet WS6 hoodies are on pre-order number 2. Send me a message if you do want one. I'll get you on the pre-order list. If they're going fast after this pre-order is done, we're going to cap it there. But pre-order number 2 is open for the Bullet WS6 hoodies. If you haven't seen them, go to Instagram. You'll see them there. Thank you, JC. Yeah, we can do it. With the help of friends, I think I can get past this. Slower Than You's offering a lot of good advice. I appreciate it, brother. We're going to get past this. We're going to figure this out and then get back to winning because like I said, turbos, it's making new personal best mile per hours, new personal best 60 foots. It's all there. It's ready to go fast. I just need to get past this one little issue that's holding us back. But we're going to get there. Promise. That's it for now. I'm going to get to work on this thing.